Motivational Monday. Very big theme for today's topic. Today, October 10th, is World Mental Health Day. And I want to talk a little bit, of course, about ways that Lifepro and some of their amazing tools can help boost and improve your mental health. My wheelhouse, of course, is vibration plates, and that's going to fall under a very general category of we know exercise can improve and help our mental health. But I will admit, after having worked with the public for quite some time, hi, Kim, thanks for being here. If you are joining me today for Mental Health Awareness Day, as I always do, I'm going to do a couple of tips on the vibration plate. I'm going to leave some time for questions at the end of the segment, but I wanted to get into a few stats to do the awareness piece. Everybody talks about mental health and stress and being stressed out. And, sometimes I don't think we really realize how big of a condition this can be and how many people are actually dealing with mental health from time to time. Perhaps you've experienced yourself. So again, today, October 10th is Mental Health Awareness Day globally. And the World Health Organization is where I got a lot of my information from today. And their big campaign, their big slogan is to make mental health and well-being for all a global priority. Depression is one of the leading causes of disability. So there's a big correlation there with physical activity. How the mental fitness and the physical fitness feel usually have a pretty big impact upon one another. People with severe mental health conditions die prematurely as much as 2 decades earlier due to preventable physical conditions. So pretty alarming stat there. 2 of the most common mental health conditions, depression and anxiety, cost the global economy approximately $1 trillion US a year. Hi, Kim Johnson. It's all the Kims here today. Despite these figures, the global median of government health expenditure that goes towards mental health is 2%. So for all the money that we spend on health, less than 2% is going towards mental health assistance programs. Despite progress in some countries, people with mental health conditions often experience severe human rights violations, discrimination, and stigmas. And that's not necessarily because you're living in an oppressed part of the world. There's a lot of misunderstanding. And up until 15, 20 years ago, it really wasn't something we commonly talked about or, certainly didn't have programs to facilitate, our stress levels and what we now identify with as mental health. Many mental health conditions can be effectively treated at a low cost. Yet the gap between people needing care and those who have access to care remains very substantial. So their solutions are out there, but for those of you needing them or seeking them, there's a big bridge to cross to get to some of those solutions. So effective treatment coverage still remains low. And I I could have talked forever. But a lot of times when we talk about mental health, not unlike our physical health, we tend to lean towards a pill or a drug or, a lot of this can be simple lifestyle choices, changes. The theme of my topic today is of course, exercise will help improve your mental health. If you did not know that, now you do. And, maybe that's a common statement. Maybe that's something that's commonly known to many of you. But biologically, why is exercise better or why is it so effective in improving your mental health? Well, there's a few reasons for that. And what I'm going to do now, one of the big things I want to stress with a vibration plate today, and I talk about it lots in many of my sessions, is the importance of spot treatments or short, purposeful sessions that are simply there to make you feel better, to manage pain. And in the course of today's session, the goal is to boost your mood, maybe your energy levels, your mental clarity, whatever you may be dealing with from a mental standpoint. I will attest from my own experience. It's really hard to get moving or want to get moving when you're just not in a good mental headspace. So exercise, diet, words like that, a workout, some of those things to me have always been very demotivating. I've always been very active, but not specifically for purpose, where I've got a routine of what I'm doing on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays kind of thing. So for many of you, maybe it's the routine and committing to it. Maybe it's the change. A lot of times if we can start moving and feeling better, many of the exercise benefits, the bigger benefits that you may be seeking are more attainable. So the theme today, of course, is not a big workout. It's just get moving. And one of the big ways that exercise helps you feel better and helps you deal with mental health is exercise. When you move, your blood moves, and when circulation gets flowing, we boost and oxygenate our body from head to toe. So how hard you want to work out, how passively you want to move, the goal is, even if you're just standing passively on a vibration plate, you're gonna feel better mentally. So we're gonna go through a couple of ideas to help you use your vibration plate to feel and move better. Oh, hang on. I was doing a bunch of cerebral palsy sessions here last week, so I want to make sure I've got everything turned on. I've moved everything around. So as you will find me commonly starting in many of my sessions, I am seated in a stool. So if you are dealing with mental health, sometimes that is due to other medical conditions. You're physically unable to move. Things hurt too much. Perhaps you're dealing with excess weight and you're body shaming yourselves. There's all kinds of reasons we talk ourselves out of getting active. So I don't want you to think of today as anything other than just feeling better mentally. And what we're going to do, like I always start our sessions seated in a plate. The reason I want you seated in a plate or seated on a stool is maybe this is all you really feel like doing. Maybe you're dealing with severe pain, or it's hard for you to stand because you deal with a medical condition or fatigue. So you could always use your plate seated on a stool to at least get some lymph and some circulation, a little bit of relax going on the lower legs. I do recommend, this isn't a big old workout. It's not about having your feet as wide as possible. I've talked in past sessions how your foot position determines your intensity. So if your hands or your feet are really wide, you're getting the most shake. And if you're not dealing with your best mental self and you're not in the best place, you probably don't want a whole lot of action to begin with. So keep your feet about hip width apart or closer. Again, you are in control if you feel you need to reduce using any speed or program. When you've got oscillating movement going, it's the position of your feet that's going to determine how strong this is. What I want you to do is bring your machine up. Bring it up to like a mid to high speed. The whole goal of today's session is about 1 to 2 minutes. Whether you're going to do seated or standing, I'm going to give you two options today. And our starting position is with our feet seated on. We're seated on a stool. Our feet are on a plate about hip width apart. I want you, if you've got a machine with 99 speeds, I want you in the 60 to 70 range. If you've got a machine with 60 speeds, I want you in the higher end, that mid to higher 30 to 40 range, let's say. And I just want you sitting here for 30 seconds to a minute. Focus on good breathing, good posture with the upper body. If you carry a lot of tension in the neck and the shoulders, the arms, lean over. Add your elbows to your knees, and you're going to get a little bit more of an upper body effect in the neck and the shoulders. If you like to meditate, if it's something you've always aspired to do and you've just never really gotten around to, just sit here for a minute or two and just park yourself with your thoughts. Try and make them positive. Focus on breathing. And again, you could do this for a minute to 2 minutes, really any time throughout the course of the day that you need to move and feel better, whether it's physically or mentally. It's kind of a 2-in-1. You're going to feel physically better, but it always lifts your spirits a little bit. If you are able and you have other goals in mind, standing is going to be more total body effect. It's going to bear more weight. Therefore, you're going to get more exercise benefits to a degree. So I'm going to challenge you to stand up. I want those knees just slightly bent. I'm going to bring my camera up just a little bit. Okay. The big goal is to get moving. Don't beat yourself up because you're not doing a big workout or you're not doing your emails. If you have access to your machine during the day and you're dealing with mental health issues, or you think you might be dealing with mental health issues, just get your body moving, get some blood and some lymph and some circulation going. Our body releases good chemicals in our brains when we're exercising. That's going to help contribute to a better mood. It'll help decrease the symptoms of both depression and anxiety. It's going to decrease your stress. It's going to increase your self-esteem and confidence. You feel better about yourself when you get off this thing because you did it. It doesn't matter how much you did it. You're going to have better sleep. You're going to have better recovery. These are all critical things. And it's the big thing for today is it's a brain boost. So if you just need some mental clarity, you're having a moment. I'm going through some early menopause and I find myself very emotional lately. So sometimes just standing here for a minute or two, or maybe some pelvic tilts or some torso twists, or maybe touching your toes. Don't get too worried about what you're doing. Just get moving in some fashion. If you've got other goals, weight loss, you're trying to gain strength, maybe you're spending a little bit of time squatting. You don't have to do a whole workout, but if you do something like this early in the day for my 40 plus crowd, if weight loss is your goal, firing up those big muscle groups of the quads and the glutes, it's going to boost your metabolism. It's going to elevate your idle rate throughout the course of the day, so you're burning a few more calories. I like to squat a little bit because I've got bad knees, and this is one of the exercises I'm supposed to be doing regularly to keep them strong. So again, whether you're just standing, whether you're just sitting, whether you're doing some really mean squats, it's really just about getting 1 to 2 minutes to give you that mental boost, that lift, get that blood flowing and deliver that oxygen-rich blood throughout your body to get you feeling better, okay? Aerobic exercise is particularly good for brain health. So if you're not doing aerobic exercise now in some fashion, or you're unable to because it hurts too darn much, there's lots of ways you can do dynamic movement on your plate. I caution, make sure your technique is very good, posture's there, but another really easy way is just to do some step-ups. You've seen me do this in past sessions. If you're just getting moving for the first time, or you haven't been active in a very, very long time, keep it simple. Keep it something that you can do within your own ability. These are all ideas. I'm not saying that step-ups are better for mental health, or I'm not saying squats are better for mental health. The goal is do what you feel like doing within your range of motion, within your ability. Just do something for a couple to 3 minutes. I guarantee physically and mentally, you will feel better. The very last point I want to leave you with, and it's a question that I get all the time: how long and how often can I do this for mental health? Well, if you've been following me through this session, I've stressed whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're standing, sitting, some of these step-ups, you really only need a minute or two to boost your spirit, start moving and feeling better. If you use your plate regularly for exercise, you know what I'm already talking about. But if you're not using it regularly, or it's kind of collecting dust in the closet because you've lost the motivation, this is a perfect way to just start moving and feeling better. And the how long and how often for something like mental health, we're not doing a big workout, is as often as your body tells you need it. When you start feeling emotional, when you start feeling the mental clarity or the energy levels drop, get on it for a minute or two if you have access to. Let your body drive how often. And as far as a duration, a minute or two. This could also be a pre or post treatment. If you're doing other things, maybe you're going to the gym, you're going to go for a walk or a coffee with a friend. You can add a short minute or two before or other activities just to give you that surge of oxygen, just to get things moving and feeling better. And I think what you'll find if you are doing other things for your mental health or your physical health, by incorporating your vibration machine as a complement, you're going to accelerate the benefits and get better overall results by combining the two in harmony, if you will. So I'm going to get back to the screen here. I asked my gal Lauren to drop a little bit of information here. I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the benefits of exercise for mental health. We're well aware of that. Mental health is absolutely on the rise, especially within the last couple of years. So if you think you are dealing with mental health, do not shrug it off. You don't necessarily need a prescription. You don't necessarily need to go get a big diagnosis. You know your mood, and if it's slumping and you've got tools like this, whether it's a vibration plate, a massage gun, an exercise bike, a red light therapy, get your blood moving, get yourself moving, even if it's just going for a walk around the house or up and down the stairs a couple of times. Creating the habit is the hardest part. So if you're not using your devices now, or you kind of been thinking about it, you know what? You're the only person that's going to get started is you. I can't make you do any of the things I suggest here, but I do hope to give you a little bit of a butt kick, a little bit of inspiration, and know that it's okay to keep it simple. It does not have to be a big old workout, just to start moving and feeling more clear, not only mentally, emotionally, and physically. So as I said, October 10th, today is Mental Health Awareness Day around the world. Many dealing with aspects of this, and whether it's yourself or someone in your household, sometimes all we need is a little encouragement and things to be simplified a little bit to get into some good habits. So the drug-free alternative, we know exercise makes us move and feel better. I'm giving you some easy options here to just get moving and feeling better. If you're not doing your plate time now, even if it's just for the benefits of mental health. I work with a lot of practitioners that use vibration plates in their practices, prior to treatments, just for that mood boost. So you're only limited, as I always say, by your imagination and your range of motion. So Mental Health Awareness Week, boosting mental health, just another phenomenally easy way to use your vibration plate to improve your overall lifestyle, or someone within your household that may be dealing with this. So I hope that offered some insight. I don't know if we'll have a lot of questions today, but I do invite, if anyone has questions related to today's topic. I didn't do a whole lot on the machine. And again, I want to stress the goal is you don't have to. Sometimes it's 2 to 3 minutes of just getting things moving. That's going to give you the motivation to carry on to perhaps a workout on your plate, or other tools that you encompass for exercise. Or if you're using this just to manage your mental health, you're really stressed out. You got a lot of work to do. You're managing the kids, a minute or two. Don't beat yourself up if you're not doing the whole workout. Give your body a little bit of attention. But the beauty of the vibration machine is you can reduce it down to a minute or two and restore not only your mental health, your energy, and do it often. Let your body tell you when it needs a fix. Okay, as often as you need throughout the course of the day. So thank you for posting that, Lauren. Lauren posted some of the health benefits that we know are associated with exercise. And again, all a vibration plate is, guys, is it's an environment that you can do exercises on, but there's a lot of ways you can get away with passive stuff to just, contribute to that bigger overall better picture. Thank you. And she's posted the study link that I referenced. You're welcome, Jen. Thank you for being here today. Hello, Lisa. You're welcome. I hope you got some tips out of this. Will this help with a stiff ankle after a broken big toe? Any activity, you've probably been encouraged, Jen, to get moving. But if you've broken it recently, there are some parameters. So if your toe is still broken, I don't know if you're weight bearing yet, but if you are able to bear weight, that ankle's, been inactive for some time. So there's a number of ways I would suggest starting seated. Come up on the toe, do some little calf raises. But yeah, you could massage directly. I use all kinds of pool noodles. If you've got a massage gun, that's another tip. But start working the ankle joint itself, and the toes. You're going to have scar tissue developing or they're present already. So yes, and make sure that if you've had an injury, to your big toe, and you've got one side, that side is likely digressed in strength. And the other side's been doing all the work. So, if it's sensitive still to stand on that toe, Jen, you could bear weight and put all of your weight on the good leg, give it a little bit of attention that it needs, and just sort of use your other foot to help keep you stable. Don't put a lot of weight into it. So there's always a bit of a workaround if the toe is sensitive or it's a little too soon to bear weight. But absolutely, any contact of getting that foot on the plate is gonna boost circulation and lymph. and it may not happen overnight. If it's an older injury, it's probably going to take some time, but you should notice a little bit of improvement even within one session. Reduce your foot distance, Jen. Make sure that foot's a little bit closer to the center until you get a little bit more tolerance built back up again. Jen says it's been 5 months and I'm just doing physical therapy. That's great. So if there's any exercises or stretches that you're supposed to be doing at home, that's the perfect thing to use your plate for. It's just going to make those exercises more effective in less time and give you other benefits at the same time. Yes, you have a Lifepro massage gun. So you could use that as a warm up. You could use it as a standalone, like if you're out and about and you notice it gives you tightness, you get tight throughout the course of the day. I don't know if you're on your feet during the day, but a massage gun is kind of a great portable option and to spot treat that particular area. But standing on your plate and getting more functional, bearing weight in that ankle is going to give you some benefits. So you could use your gun as a warm up before you get on the plate to increase your range of motion if you wanted to give it a spot treatment too. Just a few things you can play with. Thanks for your help. You love me and Amber. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of this stuff I want to say is common sense, but you don't do this all day long like we do. So, a lot of times there's a session I'll be getting ready for, and there's a simple little move that I haven't done in eons that, was sitting in the back of my trunk too. So I don't do everything all the time. There'd be thousands of exercises and variations possible when you think about it. But if you've got a few exercises you're doing now, a few things you're doing, whether it's for your own mental health or other issues that you're dealing with, I think the exercise, completion rate, if you're supposed to be doing home exercise or therapy is pretty low. I'm going to say it's probably under the 5% range. So if it's fun and you're standing on some shaky machine and it doesn't really sound like work, we tend to be a little bit more diligent. So I find a lot of my clients stick with their vibration plate more than many other things because it can be a passive thing. It doesn't always have to be a big workout. Just do something every day. I was told by my PT to do a vibration plate to help my knees. Love it. Love it. I love your PT. The one caution I will say, if you are dealing with bad knees, modify the foot placement, bring them closer, depending on what your tolerance is with the knee. Torn meniscus in the right knee, haven't had surgery yet, no pain right now. Will the waiver board? Absolutely. You should be using it especially if you are getting ready for surgery. A vibration plate's a great way. Do what you can while you're getting ready for surgery. Get strong, get stable. What you got to be careful with the torn meniscus is, just like I told the other gal, reduce the intensity, especially if you're feeling any pain. And I would, for now, avoid dynamic movements. Hold a deep squat, come up to a mid squat, hold in different angles, but sometimes dynamic movement isn't always the best when you're dealing with joint pain. And it's not necessarily so much the machine, but our technique. If unless you're exercising regularly and you have really good form, I always caution, just hold your position statically. You're likely to hold a better position, and it's less stress on your joints. And one of the reasons it would be ideal, Debbie, is it reduces the amount of time you spend exercising. So you've got a torn meniscus, whether you're dealing with that, arthritis, whatever your joint issues are, the less time you spend exercising and using that joint, the better. So, push yourself. If you're going for fitness results, push yourself within your range of motion and make those positions hard. So you're fatiguing fast on the machine and get over and done with. And it's going to reduce that time and impact on the joints. Vicky, I've also been using red light therapy on my knees and quads to help with my knees. Yep. Red light therapy, we know it boosts recovery in so many levels. It really accelerates, open wounds and healing. So a torn meniscus would fall under that category, but it's not going to sew it back together and fix it. But certainly if you're dealing with pain, swelling, any of those type of things, I love combining things with the vibration plate because you just get better effects overall. So that's awesome. Mary Beth from Wisconsin. Hi, Mary Beth. And Debbie from I don't know where you're from. Hello, Debbie. I know I've seen you before here. Debbie with an IE. This is Debbie with a Y. I'm going to leave you be for the rest of your Monday. I will have some changes coming up on my Motivational Mondays. I get a lot of questions after the fact, and a lot of questions we get in our VIP group are medical related, and that tends to be my wheelhouse. I could talk medical all day long. It's just something I fell into. So what I would like to start doing on Mondays is more of a Q&A, and I'd really like your feedback and your input as to the topics we could be discussing. So I'm going to start turning Monday into more info sessions. We are going to cover some, but there's lots of routines that Amber and Roseanne and myself have done, and a lot of times it's information that is lacking, or can I use this if I have a bad knee? Can I use this if I have a missing kidney? There's all kinds of questions. So I want to have more of a Q&A on Monday themes. So we're going to start, I don't know if it'll be next week, but very soon I will be starting on my Mondays where it's Q&A Monday versus Motivational Monday. So I do invite topics of interest. If there's things you guys want me to talk about, you get into a little bit more specific detail, please let me know, or Lifepro know what those topics are, and we're going to start working those in to my Monday sessions. Forgot to mention I have lymphedema. I think that's why it's taking longer to heal. Well, lymphedema is a very big reason that you should be using a vibration plate. I have a group that specifically is dedicated to lymphedema, lipedema, and using the plates for those conditions. So with lymphedema, it's about moving the lymph. And unlike our heart that pumps our blood, the only way that the lymph fluid moves in our body is if we move. So you'll hear me in my lymphedema and my lipedema group saying, when you move, lymph moves. So that's really as scientific as it gets, Jen. Move often, frequently. So with lymphedema, there's been a compromise to that lymph system, and there's probably blockages. And sometimes when you get started, you have swelling in new areas that you didn't have before. So make sure that you push through. That's kind of your body saying, oh, there's a problem here. But you want to keep things moving, and lipedema, lymphedema, anything with lymphatic movement, I encourage you using your machine a few times a day, ideally morning and evening if you can. But really whenever you see those symptoms presenting. So you're going to get added, you might be using it for lymphedema, but the uptick is, it's good for your knee and good for strength and bone density. So, whatever you're doing on the plate, there's never really one benefit. But there's certainly one or two main reasons that drive you to consider the technology and use it. Sometimes you don't realize there's all these other things that you're benefiting. So you don't have to do something special necessarily. Doing whatever you're going to do for your knee, Jen, is going to move the lymph too. So you don't have to do something special for the lymphedema. But if you do have areas that have particularly been compromised, one leg or one upper, usually with lymphedema, it's not an even thing. Lipedema, it's usually, larger trunks in the legs. Sometimes it affects upper body, but with lymphedema, it might be just one side or one area that's affected. So, try and do things specific to that area and give them a little bit more attention if you need as well. I'm glad you're already a part of my group, so you already know how much I talk. Today, I was going to try and be the half-hour session, and I'm getting close. Oh, I might even make it. So thank you for listening to my ramblings. I wish you all better mental health. For those of you here in Canada, I hope you're digesting your turkey. We're just coming off of Thanksgiving, which I had my fair share of fixings yesterday. So I look forward to seeing you guys later this week. I've got a new launch product coming on Friday. I will be doing a live, and I will share details on that soon. But it's a new red light product. That's what I will say, which is another big area I love. So thank you for joining me today, and have a great rest of your week. Have a great start to your week. And don't beat yourself up. If you're feeling down in the dumps, if you need a mood boost, mental clarity, 1 to 2 minutes on your machine, just do something. Who cares what it is? Don't beat yourself up. You will move and feel better. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Monday. If you know someone that's dealing with mental health or suspect they may be, reach out to them. There's lots of help out there. And, maybe it's just taking them for a walk. Sometimes the activity pieces is, if you've got someone to check in with, or, we're all really good in many of our groups about talking about mental health checks, but sometimes that physical aspect, getting out again, socializing with your friends and getting motivated to move together might be all the little success tricks that you need. So better mental health, everybody. Have a great week. Thank you for joining me, and don't work too hard. Have a great rest of your week.